Hey guys, it's your time for the next weekly analysis video. Whew! We are finally starting to see some action on Bitcoin, my friends. Finally! Oh my goodness. Last two times we spoke on a weekly analysis, I have still maintained that this is my goal. This is what I'm looking for. We are official. My friends, I didn't mark this, but we are officially in a daily pullback. This should have been marked. What are you doing? Daily, week low, there it is. And we are not even halfway through. We are not even at equilibrium. And what I mean by that is when you're looking for discount prices and whatnot, you want to see it go above 50%, right? 50% is about right here. About 25,900, give or take, something like that. Once price goes above that, then you're at equilibrium, and you can start to feel a little bit better that the pullback may be coming to an end. Of course, it doesn't have to do that. The pullback, like for here, for example, this was the high, I think, up here, and it only went about a quarter of the way, and we never even got anywhere close to that. But either way, here we are now. We are still on a daily pullback. I still remain confident that we're going to end up in this area. Nothing yet has told me that we wouldn't. We keep making higher lows here. I know that this is not, this is all inner structure for daily, but we keep making higher lows while that continues to end higher highs. While that continues to happen, you should remain bullish in the interim. Obviously, today's looking a little red. Looking a little red. That's because it's Monday. We just had all this crap happen over the weekend. And if you look, we do have a bit of an imbalance here. And it looks like we're recovering that. We may already have the low in for today. But let's go down a time frame and have a little look-see, shall we? So I've drawn some zones here. As you can see, it's a little messy. But I've drawn some zones here to kind of have a basic idea of what's going on. We did have a market structure shift, or a chach, on the 4-hour time frame, which continues that bullish mentality. The new 4-hour low, since it's here, is all the way down here. And that's the same as the daily and the 4-hour. The daily is still a weak low, but the 4-hour is a strong low. Now, as we come up, I have a few zones marked out here that haven't been mitigated yet. And then this zone has been mitigated, and we reacted quite strongly off of it. But I have something I want to talk about up here in a minute here. But first, this 4-hour zone, I think, is, if we don't already have our daily bottom in, which we may, I believe this zone should be the anticipated target. It's a pretty strong imbalance in here. I do expect maybe not go too deep into this, but I do expect something like this to happen. Maybe more over here, something like that. Whatever, somewhere in that general range. And then, of course, there's another very big imbalance down here, and also the last week's point of control, where all that volume was last week, centers on the inside this demand zone, which is pretty strong. So if we break through this, we will almost certainly get a very strong reaction here, possibly a wick down to the monthly point of control, but we'll see. We'll see. So once we come out of this, like I said, if the bottom's not already in, and very well may be, there is some liquidity lying right here, which is what keeps me hopeful. Oops. This is what keeps me hopeful that we are going here. So whenever you see equal highs, and if you watched my educational video the other day, I predicted that this would happen. I predicted that we would wick right above this and then come back down. This is what's called an equal high. It's not a swing structure fail or anything like that. But what ends up happening is we get orders building up here. And this is a concept I'll explain later. I don't want to go into too heavy detail in an analysis video. But there should be a strong amount of shorts sitting in this general area. And there's also an imbalance still here from this to this. This is all still an imbalance in here. Did I remove magnet? I did remove magnet. You derp. That's why that didn't work. To right there. Close enough. So there's not only imbalance in here for this at this fair value gap, but there's also a liquidity pool here on top of these wicks. So I do declare, once we get back up into this range, I expect a pretty strong reaction down. I will be looking to short this zone right here at somewhere. I don't think we're going to go up into this right away. I think something more along the lines of what, and then what, and then there will be some sort of imbalance left behind here. And then I think we're actually going to come back all the way up. We may blast right through this. I don't feel too strongly about that zone, but I do think we are going to continue this. It's going to be something like this. I think it's going to be a pretty volatile week where we see some pretty strong movement. I think we're going to have a double chotch. I know I'm predicting quite a lot here, but I feel pretty strongly that there's going to be a good reaction from this zone here. There's a lot of confluence in here telling me that we will. Of course, you never know what's going to happen. Anything can happen, really. But there's a lot of them. All of this movement has left a ton of liquidity and imbalances behind. Those kinds of things usually get filled and mitigated. So where are we going from here? I do believe we are going to continue this upward momentum. Let's go back to the daily. Real fast. I do believe we are going to continue this upward momentum. Sort of like this, and like this, and like this, and this will be far beyond this week. I don't think we're going to be up here during this week. We could. I don't think it'll happen during this week, but I think in the short term we may come down a little bit over the next couple of days. But then I think we're going to have a pretty strong. I think we're going to finish this weekly candle green. What was last weekly candle? Last weekly candle was pretty strong. So I do think this looks so weird when you zoom out. I do think that this general direction will continue until we come up to this volume node here, which again is my target that I've been looking for. And I think that about does it. So I remain bullish in the short term. In the long term, let's go to the weekly. I still think we're going to come down to here in this 12,000 range. And, you know, it even crazier. I think we might even go below this. I think the next potential stopping point is going to be about right here in the 7,000 to 8,000 range. So I really hope we don't go down there. I mean, I hope we do, and I hope we don't at the same time. Because if we go down here, a lot of alts are going to die. But it's also going to be a really good time to buy Bitcoin. So, I mean, I might buy a couple Bitcoins. If it goes to $7,000, I might buy 2 or 3 entire Bitcoins just because I still feel strongly that Bitcoin's going to be breaking this high at some point. So that would be quite a profitable endeavor. But that, my friends, is going to do it for this episode. Don't forget to check out our Discord server linked in the description below. If you are not understanding some of the concepts that I am explaining in these videos, I try to only talk about concepts that I have done educational videos on in the past. So if you're not understanding what I'm saying, chances are you've not watched the educational videos on this channel. So I suggest that you do, and then you could always come back here, and then you'll get, hey, I know what he's talking about. So that's going to do it, except for the zones. I haven't gone over zones yet. However, that is going to be the next educational video, either coming out later this week or next week. So stay tuned for that. Don't forget, we also have premium. In the last video, I put some promo codes for 1 week free, so you can try it out to see if it's something that you actually want to spend money on. Other than that, that's it. Thanks for watching. Take it easy.